The story of the Garden of Eden, as told in Genesis, provides a foundational account of humanity's creation, fall, and expulsion. However, the lost books, including the Book of Enoch, the life of Adam and Eve, the Book of Jubilees, the Apocalypse of Moses, and the Gospel of Philip, offer a deeper and more mystical understanding of what truly happened in Eden. One of the most debated aspects is the nature of the forbidden fruit. In Genesis chapter 3 verse 6, Eve eats from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, but several apocryphal texts suggest this was not just a physical fruit. The Gospel of Philip hints at the fruit being symbolic of a deeper knowledge, possibly even an act of intimacy. It states, "The tree of life is in the midst of the garden, but it is from the olive tree that we got the chrism, and from it comes the resurrection." Some interpretations propose that the act of eating represents an initiation into forbidden wisdom or consciousness. The life of Adam and Eve describes how Satan, disguised as an angel, convinced Eve that consuming the fruit would make her like God. This aligns with Genesis chapter 3 verse 5, where the serpent says, "For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The identity of the serpent is another key mystery. In Genesis, it is simply a cunning creature, but the Book of Enoch claims that a fallen angel named Gadriel was responsible for deceiving Eve. 1 Enoch chapter 69 verses 6-7 states, "And the third was named Gadriel. He it is who showed the children of men all the blows of death, and he led astray Eve." The Apocalypse of Moses goes further, stating that Satan himself took on the form of an angel of light and deceived Eve. It describes, "And Satan was wroth and transformed himself into the brightness of angels and went away to the river Tigris to deceive Eve." This supports 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 14, where Paul warns that Satan himself transforms into an angel of light. The Book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 9 later confirms the serpent's true identity, calling him that ancient serpent, who is called the devil, and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. The consequences of Adam and Eve's disobedience were severe. In Genesis, they are simply expelled from Eden, but the life of Adam and Eve expands on their suffering. It describes how Adam and Eve went through 40 days of intense penance, standing in the Jordan River while fasting and crying out for forgiveness. The text states, "Then Adam said to Eve, 'Rise and go to the western river, and I shall go to the eastern river, and we will pray and fast for 40 days. The Book of Jubilees adds that Adam's life outside the garden was filled with hardship. He was forced to labor endlessly, and it records that he eventually died after many centuries, stating, "And at the close of the 19th Jubilee in the 7th week, in the 6th year, Adam died." This reveals that their suffering was not just spiritual, but also physical and emotional. Despite their fall, God provided a prophecy of redemption. In Genesis chapter 3 verse 15, God speaks of a future event that will undo the effects of their disobedience. "And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." Many theologians interpret this as the first prophecy of Christ, who would later come to reverse the curse of sin. The Book of Enoch describes a future righteous one who would restore humanity, while the life of Adam and Eve records an angel telling Adam that a son of God would come to redeem them. The Gospel of Philip even connects the tree of life in Eden with Jesus' resurrection, implying that Christ's sacrifice was a direct reversal of Adam's fall. In summary, the lost books provide a much deeper narrative about the events in Eden. The forbidden fruit was likely more than just a literal fruit, representing forbidden knowledge or even an act of intimacy. The serpent was not just an animal, but a fallen angel, possibly Satan himself. Adam and Eve endured extreme suffering after their expulsion, fasting and repenting for their sins. However, from the moment they fell, God had already planned a way for their redemption through the coming of a savior. This expanded version of the Eden story aligns with both Jewish and Christian traditions, adding layers of meaning that go beyond the simple reading of Genesis. If you're fascinated by these hidden truths and lost books, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Herbs and Mystics for more deep dives into ancient mysteries, self-improvement, and spiritual wisdom. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think the Garden of Eden story is deeper than we were told? I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay brave, stay curious, and keep seeking the truth.